Qualifying one was easy if you just look at the gap of the drivers. I don't know why I'm trying to be exciting and entertaining, because I am not. Oh, that tone of the voice at the end of that sentence definitely felt like I was crying. Sounded like I was crying. My first lap was actually invalidated, so on the same set of tyres I needed to do a second lap. After this run though, I was first 1.444 seconds ahead of Hamilton in second place, with all three purple sectors. To finish Q1, nothing much changed at the sharp end of the field, so I was still 1.444 seconds ahead of Hamilton in second place. Qualifying 2 was better in terms of the tyre wear, with only one lap needed this time after I did not invalidate my lap time. I did slow a little bit, however, being only 0.820 seconds ahead of Max in P2. This time also, Perez in P5 took Sector 1's purple sector, so Perez in 5th took Sector 1's purple, so I only had 2. Once again, the sharp end did not change, did not want to shake up at the moment, but for me, it was not going to change unless I messed up, and not due to the AI. Qualifying 3 was like both sessions, with 1 lap and a 1.422 second gap ahead of Perez in second place after the first run. I decided to save a set of softs to open strategy with 3 use soft, 1 new soft, 2 new mediums and 1 new hard. So this meant I completely trusted the gap I had, and I was right to trust it, as Max only finished second 0.741 seconds behind me. I've dragged on this qualifying segment a little bit, so I'm going to hand you over to Crofty, who's decided he wants to speak again.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race that the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher back in 1992. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. The engineer lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Russell, Vettel, Norris, Ocon and Robert Schwartzman, Gasly, Ricciardo, Guan Yu Zhou and Magnussen, Albon, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz. Stroll and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now I want to ask you about Valtteri Bottas. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to power unit component changes. It's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Here we are for the Belgian Grand Prix as the 5 red lights begin to come on, and it's lights out and away we go to the Belgian Grand Prix. It looks like Sergio Perez from 3rd place gets a good start heading towards turn 1. Looks like Max is in the lead, and yes he is, but down the inside goes the Williams driver on the mediums as along with the Red Bulls as we head towards Eau Rouge. Now, is Max going to try and set up the move for Clermont? No, he's going to try and move into Eau Rouge, not quite backs out of it, and he knows there would have been quite a bit of danger there as if he made the move. Heading towards Le Combe now, surely Max is going to make the move, going towards the outside he goes. Is Perez now going to move towards the inside? Everyone's following Winter on the middle, but down the middle keeps P1 and allows Perez to take 2nd place from his teammate in the Red Bull, switching positions. Is that going to give Winter a little bit of an advantage? through Sector 2 of which is where he is the quickest all weekend. And now, previously he said he wants to be the quickest on the straight so that he can make overtakes, but at the moment he does not need to make any overtakes and can use Sector 2 to pull away and make sure that he doesn't get overtaken and have to make overtakes later in the race. Heading further down the grid, it looks like we have Hamilton in 4th place, followed by Charles Leclerc in 5th. George Russell in 6th place with Esteban Ocon in 7th, Lando Norris 8th, Sebastian Vettel dropping down the order in 9th, Schwartzman in the Alpine 10th, the rookie. Pierre Gasly heads Guan Yu Zhou and his teammate Yuki Tsunoda in a P11, 12, 13. P14 is Schumacher and Magnussen encompassing Ricciardo with his teammate Mick Schumacher in 14, 15, so 16 as Winter makes a mistake heading out turn the final chicane as he heads toward turn 1, and it looks like there's a virtual safety car from the boards. Yes, it is. It's blinking, so it can only mean it's a virtual or safety car, and there it is. Full confirmation that it is a virtual safety car. And back in the grid up now is the Williams driver, taking the time to save his tyres. No need to push whilst under the VSC. And is that going to allow it could allow for Perez to make a jump on him when the VSC ends, but as long as he keeps the gap close to the virtual safety car Delta, then he should be fine to pull away from these guys when it resumes back racing. And resuming back to racing, we are go. Is green flag on the marshal board in marshal sector towards the end of sector 2. I don't know all the marshal sectors by heart. And heading towards the Bishop chicane goes the whole entire field as we get back underway for racing on lap 2 of 44. Are the Red Bulls going to have any chance of making a dive into the bus stop chicane on the Williams car? No, they are not. I don't know why I keep going to say the Winter. It's the mix of Winter and Williams. I don't like it. I don't know why I'm calling myself the Winter. There is other Winters out here, including the season. Lap 11 then. Winter has pulled a massive gap already. 9 seconds in the space of roughly 9 laps after the virtual safety car on lap 2. So it's looking good for the Williams at the moment, looking to bag another 26 points in this season. So far haven't got many victories, as that looks like a corn cut, a track extension. And looking towards the timing screen, yes, that is a track limits violation at turn 10, which to me and you is P1. And I believe we're going to get a lap 14. Is another track limit violation on board. The following Winter, as in the laps between, we've been following the previous other battles, so it'd be nice to catch up on the Williams in the lead every so often, because we don't often see Williams in the lead. I know, judging by qualifying performances, when we should be seeing a Williams in the lead almost every lap, but many mistakes throughout the season, and it has put Winter in 3rd in the championship and not winning every race. It looks like possibly there was another track extension through Pouron. If it was very close. And yep, timing screen says 2nd track limit violation. One more when he gets a penalty. In a moment, it does not look like he should have to worry about said penalty, as the gap to his fellow driver behind him is now 14 seconds. So battling between the two Red Bulls has caused the gap to increase at a bigger rate. Heading through No Name Again, all over the curbs. Nice exit. What about Braun then? Does he track extend? He misses the apex. It's a bit close, but I don't think it will come back to bite him if he has not extended. I think he'll get away with a penalty if he hasn't extended, but if he hasn't extended, then penalty is deserved if he extends one more time, of course. And if he didn't extend, it wouldn't have mattered too much. It shouldn't matter too much because it's not a circuit where you make many mistakes. It's quite a high-speed circuit, one that Winter enjoys, high speed, no low speed, which makes sense. Low speed, you got a lot of acceleration zones, and most of the Williams mistakes has been coming out of the acceleration zones, most notably Miami and Azerbaijan. Given up 26 points, 37 across the 2 races, and he has given up a third track limit violation as he spins across the curb. As we talk about not many mistakes, Winter has spun it and is facing the wrong way, but now he's back on track. He's got a 17-second buffer to Perez in second place behind him, but surely that's going to drop down immediately as he tremendously saves himself from embarrassment again. But another mistake. It's kept him in the lead though, with a quick flick spin, keeping himself out the barrier, which is the most crucial thing about that mistake, that he kept it away from the rule and away from retirement from this Belgium Grand Prix. As we look for a replay then, as I mentioned just before the spin, he has given away a 3-second penalty at turn 4, which is a rally on. 2, 3, a little bit close. I think he might have been over the white line there. I think he may have stayed on the circuit, but with the offset of this camera it is quite difficult to tell. We're just going to have to hope that we're just going to have to trust the FIA on their judgment of the track limit violation, and Winter's just going to have to deal with it later. Going through turn 5 now, into turn 6, just plants the throttle a bit too much, and getting on the AstroTurf and the curb spins him completely round, otherwise he would have been fine. And then quick flick spin gets him back on track and keeps him in the lead. The gap to Perez will go down fairly shortly, 9 seconds. So he has only lost 8 seconds from that spin. 8 seconds more than he should have, to be honest. So it's still quite a good save to keep it out of the wall. No counter steering on the save, which is quite unusual for most drivers nowadays. Every time it's oh no, I'm spinning, counter steer. Quick thinking from Winter there, just to keep his steering wheel straight and just head in the direction of the car, of the travel of the car. As we head on lap 20. No rain is forecasted, but the clouds have decided that they want to join in on the fun of Formula 1. Hopefully it won't grey the moods of everyone around the circuit, because racing is quite tame at the front, with Winter running away with this race and no strategy to come into it. I suspect from mediums on lap 20 he will go to hards for the remaining 24 laps of the race. Okay. That was very glitchy, so sorry for not talking throughout that. I wasn't sure if my voicing was going to save or not. As he comes out the pit lane then, on the hard tyres as we assumed, and comes out under 10 seconds ahead of Verstappen in second place, who has jumped his teammate in the pit stops. Perez dropping down to 4th even, behind Sir Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, looking to get a podium in this season. The Mercedes not been the best this season. It's been Max running away with the championship. Leclerc's still close in it. They're in it, but I think it's a distant long shot. As there's a yellow flag in turn 1. Who's that going to be for? Looks like Perez is out of the race, and yes, he is out of the running. And is that going to cause a safety car? Looks like it's just going to be a yellow flag. His car disappears now, and Winter continues on with no safety car to back up the pack. I believe that would help Winter though with his fresh. It wouldn't hinder Winter. Such late in the race might have actually hindered him with the track limit penalty. But final lap now. No safety car, so it does not matter at all. 33-second gap to Verstappen after Verstappen made a second pit stop in this race, along with the other runners at the front. Apart from Williams, Bobbi saying that prefers the one-stop strategy, putting that down to why he didn't win the race in Hungary, which you can say probably did cause him to lose the race. But coming around the corner to win the race, Winter comes across the line and wins the Belgium Grand Prix. Doesn't matter what happened in Hungary, because in Belgium, Winter is on the top step of the podium. Okay, I'm hoping it would cut straight away. There we go. Here we are for the highlights. I don't know why I do these anymore. I should just do them like I used to do them, put them at the end. Put some music back on, like I used to. Not entirely sure why I lost out at the start. I think maybe the medium tyres weren't at the correct temperature range, or that the soft and mediums don't have the same temperature range, the optimal temperature. Max trying to make a move into Eau Rouge, very stupid of him. I got really confused on why he tried that. This one kind of felt a bit like Austria. I didn't think I put too much throttle on, but I must have, because I didn't touch the curb or anything. I was well past the gear, so I can't put that on it, unlike Austria, where I could. But yeah, it was a simple race. And here we are. I am going to talk over Mark if Mark decides to talk through this, because I can't see any subtitles, and when recording a voiceover I can't hear him. So heading towards the bus stop chicane, it was a fairly easy victory. EIS upgrades have come in clutch, and I can now, I have enough ERS to use to go use it through Blanchimont. There's the finger, there's the fist, there's the P1.
That's the race win! That is the race win! You've been amazing today, mate. You deserve that, well done.
I know Mark talks for a bit, so I think I'm safe when it pops up with drive for the day.
What a great race then!
I've also been having a problem with the podium remote. I know you're supposed to press the special button. I know what the special button is. I just don't know when you need to press it, because as you'll see in a moment, podium remote does not actually appear, which is very disappointing. It hasn't actually appeared all season, and last season it didn't appear
Well, I'm
either.
thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that
It
race,
appeared
but
once
I'm
or
sure
twice.
It's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up
no.
there, and it's great
think
to
it
see
only
them
appeared
make
once.
their way onto the
I
podium
don't know
now.
what's wrong with the podium emotes. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why they're not appearing. But P1 and Belgium continue their streak at this circuit, unlike most of the other circuits this season. But yeah, closing in on Vettel. Vettel is my next target in the championship. I do believe I can close in on him, and maybe I can close in on an Alpine seat. That was very rude, but I'm going to ignore it. The formation lap was good, with tyres turning up to temperature right and the end with a few burnouts on the grid. That didn't make sense, but I'm going to have to go with it. A nice cozy low 90, high 80 degrees. The grid was also a purple one after trusting the brakes after a mistake from the Hungarian GP, or strategy if you think I was going to hit Ocon after Hamilton's dive. The start was slightly poor as Max pulls ahead into turn 1 while Hamilton tries to follow him, but after I scared Max, I don't know, he just slowed massively. Lewis had no chance, and Checo takes P3 and starts to challenge Max for P2. Max, decided to turn defence into attack, and so tried to go side by side into Eau Rouge, but I knew it was a bad idea, and he backed out of it and decided to try on the Kemmel Straight instead. I, of course, defended the middle, and Max took the inside into the Lecom chicane, and Perez took his chance, but did not even get close to overtaking anyone. I pulled ahead in the brake zone, and it stopped Max from having speed through the chicane. Perez then got close to an overtake and completed it, and took P2. In the end, I pulled away, and by the end of lap 1, I pulled a DRS gap on the two Red Bulls. However, this got nullified after the VSC was called for what I can say no reason at all. Maybe to save me after I locked up in the bus stop chicane and allowed Sergio to get close. The VSC ended at the beginning of Sector 3, though, and gave me a sector to pull away before the main, if not only, attacking zone of the circuit on the Kemmel Straight. It did not matter anyway, as I pulled away only to corner cut at P1 on lap 11 and lap 14. Lap 14 was more discreet than lap 11. Lap 16 then completed the Three Musketeers after slightly cutting Radion and giving me a 3-second penalty, not 3-sector penalty. I started talking and apologising about the penalty, and so focused on that instead of driving, and had a very similar spin to Austria, except this time I will take fault as I was much later into third gear. So into no name, I spun right. Oh my god. Braked immediately, turned left, then remembered to turn into a spin and completely straightened the steering to try and stop the car from hitting the wall. It worked, so I started turning left again. However, the grass, AstroTurf and full lock after coming off the brakes made me spin back across the circuit. I flicked it round and got back on with the race, not losing much time. 9 seconds to Perez, who was still in second place. Next, I pitted on lap 20 for my only stop. Hungry. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. From medium to hard. I then had no problems for the rest of the race. Kept fastest lap and posted a quicker one to finish the race on lap 43. When I pitted, the others had already done so the gap was at 25.6 seconds entering the pit lane, and with another Austria level pit stop, left the lane 6.1 seconds ahead of Max. He then pit lap 37 to hand Perez second place. By this point, the gap extended to 16.9 seconds, then 29.1 seconds ahead of Checo. He then pitted on lap 38 and left it in 6th, handing Max second again. with 33.5 seconds in hand for me to make a mistake. Checo unfortunately retired on lap 39 and caused a brief yellow flag for me on lap 40. I then brought it home and finished first, 33 seconds ahead of Max without penalty applied. With the penalty, it finished off at 30 seconds to wrap up the easiest race this season. Second half is always much better, and it is beginning as it has done previously with a win. Hopefully it ends with a record race winning streak, but I have not had a failure since Bahrain, so I'm expecting one around Singapore, Italy time.